Hello, Sharif here. And it looks like I'm actually going out live as opposed to my techno fiasco on Tuesday, where we were live but late and had interesting words with the StreamYard platform folks because we shouldn't have been. But hi, I'm here. I'm very happy to be here. I am. We'll see if we can get through this um, evening glitch free. I always find it interesting because when now that this time has changed and now that the sun is staying up longer, I've got this beautiful sunshine coming in through my front windows, and because I've got shades and because I've got obstructions, etc., uh, I have to close my shades from the sun and then turn a light on, which makes no sense at all. But that's how we have to do it. Um, if things work well, we're going to have a very full um, day, full half hour here. Um, I'm going to encourage. First of all, I'm going to set up a meditation for us because I think that if I remember correctly, we people said they liked doing the meditation, so I'm going to be starting that um, only for 3 minutes today, but we'll go to the full five in our subsequent sessions starting next Tuesday, and I will, as I always have done, set my timer for 3 minutes, and I will call us back when the timer is up. Um, and I do remember how to do this. Um, and I'll put our candle up on the screen so that we can um, see that. And I think I'm doing that. And if I'm not, we're counting down to the meditation. So I'll invite you to close your eyes, and I will invite you to take a few deep breaths. And one more. And I'll invite you to be with all of us um, live, and for those who watch on the recording. And I will invite you to come back to center here and let us begin. So let me give you a few heads up announcements here. First of all, although I don't like doing it, I'm going to do it. I want you to click on the like button that's right down there somewhere. If you want to get notifications, you need to click on the subscribe button and also click on notifications. I was told that some of you, when you are watching this, you don't have those buttons underneath you because it's a live stream. I, um, you can get the recording and then you can click like and subscribe if that's the case for you. We're trying to expand the reach of this message because uh, we really need it. We need to know. We need to know and then create what's going to happen in our future. We've got the opportunity. There's a window of opportunity here. We're giving birth to a new society, and we need to be paying attention to that. One more announcement. This live stream will continue on Tuesday with the breaker side of the end of our future. The Thursday side, right now, and I think I can do this with a fanfare and add to the stage, and looking at the beginning, kind of welcome to the beginning of our future. That the future is not the future is as we make it, and the question is, what are we doing, and how are we doing, and how are we making this new future? Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, I mentioned that we'll be doing a free IONS presentation, Institute of Noetic Sciences presentation on Saturday, 16th of March at 7 o'clock. If you want to send me a comment via the live stream, or if you want to send an email to mail@commonway.org, I'll get you the links. That's going to be interesting, and it's also going to dovetail, I think, very nicely in what we're doing here with the end of the future, the beginning of the future. So let's start talking about that then. I'm going to be asking us to think about what we know is true. I'm going to ask us to think about what is it that we believe and how the world works. And where do those beliefs come from? Where did we get those beliefs? I'm going to be asking us to at least entertain a whole new way of looking at the world. And for some of you, it's not going to be new at all. You've already got this. And for others, it's going to be really, really new. But in order for us to do this, we've got to let go of some things. And the Tuesday portion is what we need to let go of. And then we need to accept some things, or at least entertain some things. And that's what today is about. So I want us to be thinking about how we look at the world, and then how we connect with this world. One of the things that we were told is that there are 4 fundamental forces in the universe. There's the electromagnetic field, there's the gravity that they really want to be a field, but they're still working on it. There's what they call the strong nuclear force, and then the weak nuclear force. So those 4 things are supposed to make up our entire universe. That's fundamentally flawed. We're going to fix the flaw right now. The first part is what we are calling the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force. We have no experience of that. We have no way of determining outside of an atom smasher like CERN that these forces exist. You walk through your world and you don't feel the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force. You do feel gravity. I can get something that's not going to break my pen and drop it, and it does exactly what you expect it to do. It doesn't fly up to the ceiling. It falls, and that's gravity. And while you were trying to learn how to walk and spend a lot of time bumping your butt on the ground, you learned gravity. We know the electromagnetic force. We can see what a magnet does. Every time I see a magnet, it's still magical to me how something can jump from over here to over here and not touching it in the middle. But we know what electricity is because we're using it right now. We know what gravity is because we're using it right now. We don't know anything about strong nuclear forces and weak nuclear forces, but there's another force. It is the fundamental force of the universe. And that force is consciousness. How consciousness exists in our world, how consciousness exists on the planet, on all planets, everywhere. Let me say something about tonight and then continue on. One of the reasons I want to do this is that I want to talk about this stuff slower. You know, most of the time I've got 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. If I'm doing a presentation to a group, maybe I get an hour, but that means I've got to take so much stuff and slam it all into a finite time frame. This is allowing us to take a step back, to take the step back and think about this slower, for you to write some comments or thoughts about this. I never thought about this way. This is really good. This is really terrible, etc. So our challenge is, let's get ourselves focused on this, and we can talk about it. And then on Tuesday, we come back and talk about it. And then on Thursday, we come back and talk about it for 7 weeks. Okay. So consciousnness pervades the universe. Consciousness is everywhere. Consciousness permeates the universe in ways that we can't even understand right now. Okay. That everything, every molecule, every particle, every planet, every living being has consciousness. We may not be able to understand that consciousness. That isn't the issue. The issue is, can we at least open ourselves to consciousness being a fundamental characteristic of the universe? That this means that consciousness is beyond individual humans. The big debate, and again, my undergraduate degree is in psychology, so I got beat over the head with this when I was in school, that consciousness is a construct of a human mind. That some way, I'm sorry, a human brain, not the mind, but the brain. That there's 3 pounds of squishy stuff up here, and by the connections being X or Y or Z, we manufacture our consciousness. That is not only mistaken, it's not only wrong, but it's incredibly arrogant. Yeah, there are these debates about whether dogs have consciousness, whether cats have consciousness, um, whether animals dream. Now, I've had cats, I've had dogs, I even have seen pictures of octopuses sleeping and dreaming and having their colors change and their limbs jerk around depending on what the dream is about. The only reason that's even a question is because the breaker scientists that have been looking at consciousness don't understand it and think that it's created by my brain, and therefore it's an individual expression of something. When I say that consciousness is a fundamental force like gravity, like electromagnetism, that means that the field of consciousness goes throughout the universe and we can follow the field. We can, my consciousness, most of the time, is located where I am. Okay. If we're lucky right now, my consciousness is located somewhere where this body is. But that is not always the case. There are times when my consciousness will be near my body, but not coterminous with it. Then there are times when my consciousness has nothing to do with my body, and I can be traveling in realms that are beyond space, beyond time, beyond condition, and I'm just hanging out. Many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you have had some of you have had near-death experiences. Some of you have had alternate sensory experiences. Some of you have had trans-sensory experiences. And all that stuff we have those experiences, and breaker science is less and less able to explain what all that means, how that happens. I think I mentioned this in prior live streams, but I'll do it again. If I didn't mention it in prior live streams, I'll do it for the first time. I was in I've done a number, the number is 5, by the way, a number of ayahuasca journeys. And these were sacred gatherings. The people there were very much attuned to the sacred nature of this plant medicine, and knew that the ayahuasca experience takes you to realms that are beyond space and beyond time and beyond any condition that we know of through breaker type psychology. So I think this was my second or third time. And during this session, again, 30 people in the room, completely dark, but you see things. And about halfway through, although you can't really measure time, the healer, the shaman, if you want to call him that, started singing. He sings and he plays instruments the entire time. At one time, he starts singing a song in Shipibo, which is the language of the people in the Amazon basin who developed ayahuasca. He starts singing this song, and all 30 of us start singing the same song in Shipibo. At the time, there were two of me in my body. Consciousness isn't restricted in the ways that you think that it ought to be restricted. So there were two Sharifs. One of the Sharifs was singing the song in Shipibo, and the other one, the one that's talking to you right now, was judging all this and was telling the other me, "Shut up! You don't know Shipibo." Although I'm singing it, you're going to embarrass us, which is pure ego talk. And the other Sharif just said, "You shut up and take a deep breath because there's another stanza coming up." And once this Sharif stopped being judgmental, this I really got into it and got into the singing. We sang the song for a while. All 30 of us sang this song in unison. We sounded really good. All the men were singing the same notes as the healer. All the women were singing an octave above, and many of the women were singing harmonics. I mean, they were like really into this. So we went back and had our own experiences and went to sleep, wake up. We spend the night in that space so that we can debrief in the morning. And there was a woman early in the morning who was walking. So she was new to the group, and she's walking from room to room. And she is saying something over and over again and taking the expletives out of what she was saying. She kept saying, "How could I sing that song?" And I knew she was having an existential issue. So I called her over and I said, "How are you dealing with this?" And she said, "I was singing a song in a language that I don't understand. I was singing along with everyone else. It seems that way, but that's impossible. I can't sing a song that I've never heard before." This was her first session. Never heard before, in a language I've never heard before. And she said, "I read books on ayahuasca before I started this session, and so I can accept that you," pointing to me, "sang a song in a language that you didn't understand. But I can't accept that I did that." So I said, number one, you sang that song because you were sitting right next to me and you sounded really good. Number two, if you really cannot accept it, what I suggest you do is retrieve your car keys, leave before we have any breakfast, don't talk to anybody else, and on the way back, make up whatever story you want to make up for what you experienced, and don't ever come back. Or open yourself to the possibility that things are happening and can happen that are outside of your life and outside of your experiences. And to her credit, she not only hung in there, but she came back. Now, we tell ourselves, we are told that all that stuff that, what happens when you're on LSD, those are just hallucinations. It's all happening in your mind, and that mind is making things up, and it's as crazy as dreams, and you can just kind of forget about it. Like it's weird. Weird stuff going on inside your head. Well, that song wasn't inside our head, or it was inside of 30 heads in unison, sounding really good. So what happens when we have a hallucination that is shared by 30 people? That gets called something. It gets called reality. So we're able to shape, to change reality. Now, on top of all of that, there are levels of consciousness. There are levels in which we are being conscious. Um, I'm going to go through these really quickly. I'm hoping that you ask some questions around this because I think this is really important. And we'll get to some of those questions on Tuesday and then again on Thursday. But let's go through this really quickly. Number one, the first level of consciousness is fundamental, where we maintain our existence. We're talking about, atoms. Um, Atoms are, photons are, elementary particles are, elementary fields are, and that's all we can say about them. We can't talk about the levels of conscious existence of a rock. Doesn't mean it's not. It just means that we aren't able to. I'm going to take what I was about to say. We aren't able to access that level of existence, but some of us can. Some people have told me that they can, and so that is that's where that is. The second level of consciousness is what I'm calling motivational. These are the beings, sometimes only having one cell. They can seek food. They can seek out that which feeds them or that which gives them security. Okay, they can move away from that which causes pain, that which causes detriment, that which is unpleasant for them. So this notion of this is like the first level of awareness, and this we can include plants in that, where the plants will turn their leaves to the sun because so they will seek the benefit of the sun and will avoid conditions that are detrimental to that plant. We would not refer to that plant as conscious in the ways that human beings are conscious. I should say some human beings are conscious. There's an awful lot of human beings out there right now that are vegetating. So I don't know if they have higher levels of consciousness. The third level of consciousness is what I would call the first level of human consciousness, that we can delay pleasure and take on pain if it is for the higher good. Think about that in terms of the ice cream that's sitting in your refrigerator, that you're not going to eat the whole quart of ice cream because it's not good for you, although as it's going over your tongue, you're enjoying it. You can consciously take on pain, like choosing to go to a dentist, choosing to have a very unpleasant experience because you become a better person for it. And you can begin the process of cooperating with others in your tribe so that good is extended. Okay. The good is not just for this individual, but for the entire group. Okay. So the next level of consciousness is what I am going to call self-aware. This is where we start using words like me, like I, like mine, like yours, where we start differentiating, have a differentiating level of awareness. Um, and then, and this is the one that uh, a lot of people stop right there. As long as I'm self aware, you don't worry about the rest of the universe. Um, I'm not doing that. I think that there is another level, and this is what I'm calling holonically aware, that we are aware of ourselves as part of a hive, that we can benefit all beings within our group. Our group, for example, being human beings, not, you know, my bowling club, not my um, not my country, or certain people in my country. Um, that we can that we can benefit all who come within our group. We can sacrifice for all in that group. That we can cooperate not only with our species, the entire species, but we can cooperate with other species for mutual benefit. So it's not, let's exploit this species for money. Let's cut down the trees, let's kill the cows, let's do all that stuff for money. But let's do this for the good of the whole. We can start thinking about the good of the whole. Okay. I think that is our future. I think the future of humanity is for us to become conscious as colony beings. First, and this body as a colony, the 10 trillion cells of this body, most of which is not Sharif DNA. These are other beings operating cooperatively most of the time. And when they don't operate cooperatively, I try to bring them back into cooperation. Um, okay, I'm over time, so I'm going to stop here. Um, I'm going to say one thing. I got a message from Greg Burrell before, right as we were starting, and he said, "I got new people to watch Tuesday's live stream. Today I have a meeting, but I hope I can watch later." Thank you, Greg, for letting me know you're doing what all of us need to be doing, which is getting more and more people to watch it, getting more and more people to hit the like button. I'm seeing the numbers of likes going up, getting more and more people to actually subscribe so that it's easier for me getting notifications out to people. Our challenge is, how do we do these things, and how do we take these actions that will benefit all of us as we head into this very, very interesting future that is coming up, that's coming up faster and faster. As you know, there is we've been doing something I call the inclusivity prayer, and I've been ending with that. And I want to do a slight modification of it, in light of those of us who are coming together to create a world that works for all living beings. So the prayer is, may all beings be well, may all beings be secure, may all beings be happy. But the first part of the prayer is, may I be well. And so if you're saying this at the same time, you're talking about yourself. May I be well. May I be secure. May I be happy. The second part of the prayer focuses on a you, someone other than yourself. Now, You could be saying that to me, that you want Sharif to be well, Sharif to be secure. You could be saying that to a loved one. You could be saying that about Donald Trump or whoever it is that you find difficult to connect with. So, whoever your you is, may you be well. May you be secure. May you be happy. Third level, and this is what I left out as we were doing when we were doing this before, is may we be well. And by we mean the people on our planet who are committed in whatever language they use to creating a world that works for all living beings, not just for my interest group, not just for the people I like, not just for the people on the left or the right or the center or whatever, but for us, for the people who are committed to creating a world that works for all. May we be well. May we be secure. May we be happy. And then finally, if we left anybody else out, that includes, we will say this for all of the other beings on the planet, on other planets, inside your body, whoever they are. May all beings be well. May all beings be secure. May all beings be happy. So whether you've joined us live here tonight, today, it's kind of hard to figure out whether this is day or night here. But if you are here, then great. If you're watching from recording, know that that is still valid. You can still send me text messages, etc., to mail@commonway.org, and we will get together next Tuesday, and we'll be looking at the end of our future, the end of the breaker future. And then next Thursday, we'll be going back to the beginning of our Mender future, the beginning of the birthing of the nation of Gaia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will talk to you all at another point.